name is Sunny. I'm the host here. I'm really excited to welcome to the stage and welcome to Chef Dunia Borga.
Well, Sunny, thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure to share with you guys one of my favorite recipes. It's actually an angel food cake, and it's very simple to make. A lot of the times we see it at the supermarket or anything, and we go, oh, that's a tough one to make. It's this very simple one. One of my favorite things to do with it is actually having it for breakfast. People think of it for dessert, but I actually think of it for breakfast because I put it in the toaster and it kind of like caramelizes all that sugar in it, and it's incredible with strawberries. So
Yes.
The first thing you want to do is you want to separate your eggs. It asks you for 2 cups of egg whites. That's about 16 eggs. So the best thing is, in order to get volume from those egg whites, you want them at room temperature. So if you know you're going to be making this, I would say take out your eggs the night before, leave them on your countertop, and then do it. When you start your egg whites, you just start them at a low speed. Once you see a little bit of the air mixing into it, you want to add your creme tartare and salt. If you don't want to use the creme tartare, you can also use just like a teaspoon of lemon juice. That helps the egg whites raise more and be a little bit more fluffy and white and have more sturdiness to it. It's that acidic that creates that. And if you see, all I'm doing is I'm bringing up the speed slowly. The reason why I'm going a little bit slow is you want to incorporate that air into your egg whites. If you go ahead and raise it up right away, it's just going to beat them really bad and they won't get as airy. So if you take your time actually doing this, you'll get a better volume in this instance. Right now, since you see it, that is almost pretty much all with the foam, I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and I'm going to add the creme of tartare and the salt. Why did I bring it down? Because otherwise it would splash all over it and it would not go into those egg whites.
Okay, I'm in love with this glass bowl, Dunia. Oh my gosh, like, you have no idea how many demos we've had, and we can't.
Yeah,
this
you're
is
turning it
beautiful.
over and
Yes.
everything. Now you're able to see exactly what's happening in the bowl.
Oh, it's
Then-
really fluffy now. Just adding what you just added in now is a huge difference to the egg whites.
Yeah. Now you're going to start adding your sugar to it. On the sugar, you're actually adding crystals to those egg pockets. So go slowly, don't just dump it, because otherwise those crystals will break those air pockets and it can deflate. So you want to just go slow as you add it. Then you got some vanilla. Now if you want to add lemon, orange, whatever kind of extract to it, you can do it right now. I like just the vanilla, but some people like with almond extract. Some people add some lemon, whatever flavoring you want. If you wanted to do like a chocolate one, do not add your cocoa to it right now. What you actually do is with the flour, you just mix in about, depending on how chocolatey you want it, you can go from a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of cocoa. And it depends on how rich you want that chocolate to be. Then separate, you can either sift it, or if you have something like this, you just mix them together. Your cake flour, I'm actually using cake flour, not all-purpose or bread flour. The cake flour is a little bit softer, so it will not be as harsh on your cake. We have, and see, this is when I struggle a little bit with this. No, not today. And if you look at it, it looks just exactly like shaving cream. It has some of the softness in it. I mean, it has some of the sweetness in it, of the sugar. And then you have your flour and your sugar. And all you're going to do is you add some of that flour with the sugar and you fold it. The reason why I'm folding is you really do not want to deflate this at all. More of that. until you completely incorporate your flour and your sugar into this mixture. So if you were doing a chocolate, it would have the cocoa going into it right now. If you decide to use, instead of cocoa, you can just melt your chocolate and add it to it. So once everything is completely dissolved in there, your pan, you're gonna get one of these pans. It's a fluted pan. And then it has this little things on the end. I always wondered, how come it has them? Well, when you get them out of the oven, you actually turn it right over, and you don't even take it out or anything. You let it cool like that. And that way it keeps it, it doesn't collapse, and it keeps its place. If your pan doesn't have these, just put knives or something like a fork or something, just lifting it up a little bit so that steam can come out because of the heat on it.
Okay,
And
but
then,
it is important that we put it upside down.
yes,
Okay.
when you get it out of
Yes.
the oven.
Okay.
But anyways, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna pour your cake batter into your mold. It gets a little messy, don't worry about it. And it is not gonna grow much. So you're actually going to fill it like 3/4 of the way up. This recipe will actually make a large one or 2 small ones.
Do we need to grease that pan at all?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
You do not want to add anything to it. You just want to make sure that pan is just dry and clean, and that's it. If it has any oil or butter or anything to it, it will deflate your egg whites, okay? And just as is, you're just gonna pop it into the oven, 350 degrees, and about 45 minutes. May take longer than that, but at 45-minute mark, I would go check it. So you'll see the golden. It doesn't look very pretty that way, but when you touch it, it should spring back up. You don't need to put a knife into it or anything. Once you remove it from the oven, just with your oven mittens, turn it over and let it sit. It takes about an hour, hour and a half for it to fully cool. To remove it from the mold, just press on the bottom of it. You may want to take a little bit off the edge with a spatula. And the reason why I'm doing this is I don't want to tear it. But it should let loose. And then this, that's it. Put some powdered sugar on it, whatever you want. Most people want to get a knife to cut these. If I don't have an angel food cutter, I use a fork. The angel food cutters are the ones that looks almost like a comb, like for an afro or something, and it has like little sticks on it. And you sit there and go, what that's for? That is actually to cut this type of cakes, so they keep their volume. If you use a knife, it would lose its shape. And all you gotta do is just kind of tear it with your fork. There we go. If you use a knife, it's just gonna smush it down and you will lose that
yes,
volume.
it does. I've fallen victim to that before.
Yeah, so that's, if you don't have a cutter, just use a fork and tear it off. I normally just grab a toast like this and throw it into the toaster oven in the morning, and it's absolutely fabulous. So it's a very simple recipe. I hope you guys try it at home.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Do we have to have that kind of pan?
A fluted pan, yes. This particular one, no. There's some shorter ones and everything, but just make sure when you finish baking it, you turn it over. On a regular cake pan, no, it will collapse. The center of it will collapse.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, you have to have the circular one with the little hole in the middle.
Yeah, with this little hole in it.
But if it, right, yeah. But if you don't have the little feet on it, you can just set it on something to keep it, yeah. But yes, you do need that little hole in the middle. All right, let's give one more big round of applause. And thank you to
pleasure.
Chef Dunia Borga for being with us this afternoon.